So your methods of connecting with your students have been suddenly turned upside down, as we mentioned earlier. Everyone is in a position to deliver. Anyone who has been in a position to deliver information has now found themselves having to create somewhat of a video studio in their home. So let's talk about some of the things you may want to consider if you want to create good video from your home. We're going to go over things like your camera, your sound, your environment, your lighting, and your camera placement, all things that could affect how you communicate and or receive by those you're talking with. So first, let's talk about your camera. Now, laptops that you probably have with you, they already have a webcam in them, most of them, and they work fine, but they're not going to be the best quality. So if you happen to have a webcam that's separate that you can mount on top or move around with you, that's going to be the best scenario. Now, given in most cases we need to use what we have, so we're going to consider that we need to use what we have, and also I'll speak on some things you may want to also add to your arsenal now that you're more likely to be working more teaching remotely. So if you have an external camera, you're going to be able to obtain better placement, plus you're going to have a better quality of video. Now, given that you're going to be streaming, the video may already be going through some compression anyway, so you want to obtain the best quality of video that you can. Also, the external webcams are going to have a lot better lens, a better sensitivity to light, and will be able to adjust better to your different environments. Some will also have microphones on them as well that can be better than the microphone that's in your computer. So if you end up buying an external video camera, I would suggest looking for the main parameter to look for is that it's at least 1080p. That's basically describing the pixels that camera can capture. So you can get one higher. Your streams may only be at 720, but you want to look for a camera that has the specification of 1080p for your video quality. So now let's talk about your sound. It's said, especially in the content creation world, that sound is as important, if not more important, than the video. A person who is watching video may not realize why they're not engaged. They may not realize why they don't want to watch the video, but oftentimes it's because the sound is bad. So when we're talking about creating video, room acoustics is very important. If you're in your kitchen, which tends to have hard floors, less things on the wall, it's going to be more echoey and you're going to have worse sound. Again, I consider working with what you have and wherever you can work. But if you have options, I would suggest moving to a room that has more softer objects like carpet, couches, things on the wall. It's going to reduce the acoustic reverb and echo in that room and will enable your listeners to hear you a lot better. These are things that from your end you may not notice, but from those who are listening to you, it can make a big difference on how they understand and comprehend what the message you're trying to convey. Also, using a headset will greatly improve the sound as well, because most headsets have directional microphones, meaning that they're only going to listen to or be able to hear things that are close by. Even using your phone earbuds with the microphone nearby is better than having you speak to your computer, because your computer is going to gather all that sound from the room, all the echo, and you won't be heard as clearly as you would be by using either a headset or your earbuds or your phone connector. You can go a step further if you want to hit up Amazon and get some additional items. A USB mic, if you're going to be in it for the long haul, would be a great addition to get better sound quality, or even a lavalier. You can get a cheap lavalier for like 20 bucks that will connect from you directly into your laptop. That again will allow you to capture sound that's just from you and not all the extra room sound. And sound will greatly improve the quality of your video. So we mentioned on the next slide a bit about your environment. Of course, the good thing is we've all been thrown into this. Some of us are have kids at home as well. So I acknowledge, and I'm even right now wondering when my kids are going to break into this room right now. But so we can't always create the most ideal environment, void of distractions and sounds and noise and the kids around possibly. But if you can, try to find a space or time even when you can maybe have the kids outside or doing their own lessons while you do your teaching lessons. Whatever you can think of to organize your time around minimizing distractions. Also, your background. Think of your background as, if possible, think about changing it or making it somewhat like your teaching environment at school may be. You may want to add color or books or things that fit the message you're trying to convey. You can have purposeful visuals. You can use some, I've seen using whiteboards, using any kind of demonstration material they can use on camera with them. So all these things play into making what may become your regular video set for teaching. You may want to go ahead and have a mindset of, what can I do to create this space in my home as my video set? This is my new classroom now, so what do I need to obtain to create my own personal video set? So speaking of that, let's talk about lighting. The next slide is, you want to think about what the light looks like coming at you when you're on camera. And you can't beat natural lighting. Natural lighting's free, it's softer, so it looks better. You just have to make sure you try to position yourself so the light is coming towards you. If you're sitting with your back to a window, you'll end up with the video much like the one of this gentleman's picture on top. The light's coming at the camera, it tries to adjust for all that light, and you end up not looking so clear and dark in the picture. As opposed to having light coming towards you, whether it's another window, other natural light, or in the next slide, you'll see there are also options. You could perhaps get some kind of LED light to face you as well. Now, if you don't have an LED light or don't want to purchase anything extra, you can find a lamp that you have in your room and try to position it behind your camera. And the main goal is to get the light on your face. And so the light behind you is not brighter than the light coming towards you. So there are lots of lamps and LEDs you can get that are specifically designed to sit on your desk, to clamp to your laptop, that can give you light on your face. Something else too regarding the camera and the lighting, cameras typically try to adapt to the lighting, and so you may end up with a fuzzier or a grainier picture because the camera is trying to make up for poor lighting. So you want to keep that in mind as well. And finally, camera placement. We've all been on meetings or seen people, or especially in our Zoom meetings, where you find someone at the bottom of the picture. You see their forehead, or we are subject to looking at their nose for the whole video. Typically, the nose videos come from someone coming from their laptop that's lower on their table, and the laptop is pointing up, looking at them. You want to avoid that. So if you're using your laptop for your camera, put the laptop on some books or something to bring the laptop higher up. Just angling the laptop screen where the camera is isn't sufficient, because that leads us looking up at you. You want to get the camera up at eye level and then adjust so that you are in the center of the frame, taking up most of the camera, not too close, not too far away. But if you think about, say, your newscaster's talking head type of shot, you want to be clear enough so that you're taking up the right portion of the frame. And this picture on this slide is a good example of that.